there's more controversy over the Rey movie. I mean, come on.
What?
This is Star Wars. So rumors swirled when some very unreliable sources reported just the other day that the already controversial Charmin Obaid-Chinoy directed Star Wars film that reportedly features Daisy Ridley returning as Rey Skywalker, that it's been delayed indefinitely. This is like a common type of rumor that comes out. These unfounded reports said that Stephen Knight, who's also the creator of Peaky Blinders and a number of other big shows, was abandoning his writing duties and leaving the project. All this despite the recent comments from the director herself, Daisy Ridley, saying things like she's so excited about the direction that the story is headed. So after social media blew up, Gizmodo's Jermaine Lussier, who's also a friend of Around the Galaxy, reached out to Lucasfilm and was able to confirm that the rumors were completely baseless. Now, what's interesting about this is that the fact that that Lucasfilm jumped on the rumors. So often they let these rumors go and they let them fester and they let them happen, but they immediately returned Jermaine's calls and said, no, this is not true. There's still no release date for this movie, but it's assumed that it'll be the next Star Wars release after the Mandalorian and Grogu film. I think the big challenge here, Nick, and I'd love your thoughts on this. The reason rumors like this take off so quickly is because over the last several years, Lucasfilm has had a reputation of announcing projects and having them die before the script is even finished. What does Lucasfilm need to do to stop? Because the fandom blew up. It was an ugly day and a half. Actually, not even. It was a half a day because Jermaine jumped on it and the red-eyed YouTubers, well, they should have retracted their stories. They haven't. They're still making their click money on it. But Nick, how does Lucasfilm avoid this moving forward?
I'll be perfectly honest. I think they've already done it. I think the fact that they responded to Jermaine's request, hey, there's this story going around. Do you want to say something? And they did. This isn't Patty Jenkins. This isn't Taika Waititi. This isn't all. Again, there's been a revolving door of creators and people and scripts. I mean, you can dial it back to the sequel trilogy and you get, Colin Trevorrow and you get some of the script changes and writer changes and all these other things. But Disney spoke up on this one. And to me, that stands out because they said, whoa, 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 slow your roll. Or as Lee Corso used to say in sports, not so fast, my friend. They stepped in and they made a comment on it. We don't get that very often. Disney and Lucasfilm stay very, above the fray, above the nonsense. I think the fact that they spoke up says a lot and says, no, this is something we're working on. This is something we are, it's something that they want to do. And it's a priority for the studio, honestly.
And I think they need to do it more often. And I think, honestly, they also need to, I've worked in the healthcare industry. I've worked in various industries. The hardest thing for a PR department to do is to address bad news. Nobody wants to do it, but they do need to get ahead of the rumors. And in this case, they were able to get ahead of it with a positive spin by saying, no, this film is not dead in the water. It's not delayed. We are moving forward. But when things die, get out there, get ahead of it, say it, be clear and honest, because here's the reality. And I've said this 1,000 times. This happens on every single studio lot. Whether it's Marvel, whether it's DC, whether it's movies you've never even heard of or properties you've never even heard of, it happens all the time. Scripts get started, actors get signed, and things don't happen for whatever reason. And I think we're going to get to it a little bit when we speak to Andy in a few minutes. The fandom for Star Wars is hungry for both good news and bad news and an opportunity to fight about it, and they need to stay ahead of it if they're gonna keep that kind of noise down. So that's my take. That's where I am.
And I think that with Dave Filoni moving into the role that he's in, Dave has been more engaged with social media things, if we're being honest, than Kathleen Kennedy has been. Like, it could be that as he moves into a more, leadership creative role, instead of just making the shows and the movies, like, they could start to make some adjustments to social media policy, PR policy. What are the things worth squashing early, whether it's negativity towards a character, whether it's, oh, this is getting canceled and we can't do anything. We're the gang that can't shoot straight. Like, it may be worth adjusting some PR policies. And so it'll be interesting to see if maybe that's, we see more of this coming down the pipe.
Absolutely.